client today is 13-year-old Hallie. She is a white female of Native American and Indian ancestry. Religion is Christian, and her presenting concern is where she used to arrive at school in a pleasant mood, and she'd arrive early and she would do her work, and she got along quite well with all her other peers. And it's been reported that lately she's not in as good of a mood that she used to be, and she doesn't have any energy, and she's had a lot of changes over the last 6 months. She's not well kept like she used to be. She's kind of dirty and disheveled, and she doesn't light up in class the way she used to do. And she's losing weight. The teachers have noticed that she's lost her spark somewhat, as you'd say, that she used to have. And she's just not doing the work that she used to do. She's not able to make eye contact with the teachers when you ask her a question or anything and ask her how everything's doing, and she just looks down and she looks sad. And the current problems that she has is she doesn't show any interest in the material that the teachers provide for her. Um, she just seems depressed. She's a mere shell of the girl that she once was. Current stressors seem to be her mother has been drinking and staying away from home a lot. Hallie visits her dad every other weekend, and recently she discovered that her father and the woman that he's introduced her to not long ago plan to be married, and they're also expecting a new baby. She will have a little brother or sister, they tell her. Background housing and stressors include Hallie and her mother have been staying in their house that she grew up in, the one with her mother and father, since her father moved out. And in their divorce agreement, it states that they can remain in that home for 1 year while they look for alternate housing. And the deadline looms near. The mother's not working a steady job. She misses a lot of days because of her drinking, and she oversleeps, and she's not being responsible as she should be. And it's just Hallie and her mom there in the house, and there's a lot of stress in the house. Her mom stays out and she goes out drinking a lot with her friends, and she's going through a lot of depression from the divorce, and she's just mostly noticing the effect that it has on her. So Hallie stays home a lot by herself in the evenings, and that's hard on her because her mom doesn't cook her dinners anymore. She doesn't help her with her homework. So that's probably why she's losing weight and she's not as excited in school as she used to be. And her mom's not working the way she's supposed to, or the way that she was before the divorce happened. So, even Hallie's kind of wondering what's going to happen when when they need to move to their apartment, because her mom doesn't go to work but a few days a week. So, where's the money going to come from? And the strengths, the protective factors, and signs of resilience. Hallie has grandparents on both sides of the family, her mother and her father's parents, and they've been big pillars of the community and the church all their lives. And they have a good influence on Hallie. And they've been trying to get Hallie to go to church, and her mother to go into the church and get involved with social groups, and um, participate in positive influences in the community to try to lift them up and get them involved in some more productive um, influences and around where they're at, so that they could, move on to some better things. And the family systems that they have, the family system is integral to Hallie's support system, with Hallie's grandparents being influential systems in her life. Um, they can provide emotional support for Hallie as well as their mother. Hallie's grandparents can offer guidance and nurturing, which can be essential for healing and recovery. They can be good role models as they're active in the church, and they've spent 60, 65 years in good marriages and responsible financially and spiritually, physically, emotionally, and they can lead Hallie and her mother, on a productive and healthy, wholesome path in the way that they did. And they exemplify positive behaviors for Hallie's mother that she can emulate. And involvement in family counseling or counseling therapy can include Hallie's grandparents and offer a familial perspective. Community systems. The community system encompasses resources available outside the family home that can assist Hallie's mother in her recovery journey. There's churches and social groups that grandparents have already attempted to involve Hallie's mother in these groups. They can provide social connections, building friendships. Support groups can combat isolation and foster accountability for Hallie and her mother. Spiritual support. The church can provide spiritual guidance and support structures which are important in recovery. Local support groups, such as Alcoholics Anonymous, Alateen, I think Al-Anon, or other community support groups may be available. These can provide peer support. Connecting with others who face similar troubles can help Hallie's mother feel understood and supported. Access to resources, information regarding counseling services, workshops, and recovery initiatives can be disseminated through these groups. School support. Hallie's school quite possibly could have counseling service that would support Hallie's situation at home, as well as her mother's counseling as it affects Hallie. It might provide support for both of them because it's causing Hallie to struggle at school as much as she does with not being able to complete her work and thrive at school the way that she did before. So they might be able to find support systems for Hallie's mother too, as well as giving Hallie a guidance counselor to work with at school. And teachers can create a supportive environment, recognizing any behavioral changes in Hallie. It sounds like they've already done that. But they can encourage Hallie to participate in clubs and sports and provide her with constructive outlets and build self-esteem. And as they've already noticed the changes in Hallie, that's a big step. And it sounds like the grandparents are already on board, with trying to help Hallie and her mother with the situation that's going on. I think it's been a big help that the school is starting to reach out and try to find some help for them too. So this is the case of Hallie, 13-year-old Hallie, that needs help with her home life.